In our last video, we brought you right up to the border of Argentina and Brazil. And in this video, that's right where we pick up. We are officially checked out of Argentina. Got to get the van checked out. And then we enter Brazil officially. So, come on guys, let's go to Brazil. All right, it looks like the customs guy from Brazil is checking out the garage area. Kurt came out with paperwork, so I think an inspection's all we've got left.
Woo! All right, so this was kind of a weird border in that normally we sign out of migration, get our passport stamped, and then we give our temporary import pass from the van back. And then we cross the border, we go to migration, get our passport stamped, and then get our temporary import pass for the new country. Standard process for all the countries. However, here, before we leave Argentina, I guess based on logistics, we had to get the van, the temporary import pass for the van.
First.
Which is usually the longest, most difficult part. It's done.
Yeah.
So now all we got to do is get our
ourselves
approval
stamped in. Yeah.
for Argentina. Well, we got to get out of the gate for Argentina, get ourselves stamped in, and we're off and running.
And then the next stop is a bank because we need new money.
We need new money. I think we have SIM cards from before, but
We'll have to see if we can make them work. We're in a new country! Woo! Whew. It was a little bit hectic finding where we were supposed to park and go in and get our passport stamped, but it's done. The van is officially in Brazil. Snow and Curt are officially in Brazil. Nobody wanted to check any papers on the kitty cats, so they are officially in Brazil. We made it about an hour outside of the border city. We're in Brazil, we're all settled, we're wore out. Border crossings always wear us out. This is home for the night. Lots of little birds coming to visit Vanna and G at the door. Even though it's a gas station, it's pretty comfortable. We'll see you guys in the morning. Nothing special going on this evening. We got up this morning, had our breakfast there at the truck stop, got on the road pretty early. And there's a couple of things I want to tell you guys. The first one is we have driven far enough north, which remember we are in the southern hemisphere, so as we're driving north, it gets warmer. We have on shorts and flip-flops because it is going to get up to 80 degrees today, and that is exciting because we've been in the cold weather for a long time. The next thing is we just got stopped on this little road for a donkey jam. There was several of the Brazilian cowboys stopped us so that they could cross maybe, 30 or 40 donkeys.
That's the first donkey crossing we've ever encountered.
We didn't film it real good because it happened so fast, but then it was really cool to see the Brazilian cowboys with their cool hats and everything too. So our day is off to a good start. We are eastbound. We have quite a long drive to get to our next destination. Our campsite was about 4 hours of a drive today. That's what we're doing. We're driving east. But we're gonna show you anything cool we see along the way, like donkey crossings. All right, we have stopped to fill up with fuel, getting our windows cleaned, and I think we're gonna check out this restaurant, see if they got some grilled chicken. Lunch is served. Steak, rice, salad, French fries topped with an egg. Kurt got my egg because I don't like them. No menu. This is all there is. Oh, and beans, which is good on the rice.
It's good. It's
really good, yeah. That was a yummy lunch. Super quick, super good. How much did it cost?
I don't even know. I didn't even look.
Whoops. But I have a feeling it wasn't expensive. It was a nice little gas station stop. We put our sticker on the window back on the road.
So, day number 2 back in Brazil, and we happened on this little farm camping site. And it was cool because as we drove down through the pasture, well, let me just first say, it's closed kind of right now. It's really during the summertime, the owner was telling me, and actually showed me a lot of pictures where they'll fill this place up. There'll be people all out here in the pool, diving off the dock. They've got a big thing back here for barbecues and tables and all that. And they'll get cars parked all around here, people camping. But so it was closed, and he was going to let us stay up there by the house, and I talked him into letting us drive down here through these pastures because of the cats. There's a couple big dogs up there. And so we drove through the horses, the cows, the sheep. Of course, the kiddies always love seeing the different animals. And we're all down here all by ourselves on this little pond. And the cows have just come up here to get some water and joined us. Some ducks have landed, and the lapwings have been all around. But anyway, second day in Brazil. We're gonna spend the night here. But this is one of the incredible things I love about Brazil. You're out here in the farm, and it's easy to find a place in the nature just to get away. And yes, I already did get G out, and he got a nice walk, and so that was pretty awesome. Anyway, here we are. We crossed the border into Brazil, just barely north of Uruguay, and we kind of been bouncing along the north side of Brazil. And the reason why we skipped Uruguay is we're kind of in a hurry. I think I've told you in a couple episodes before, we have some work we need to get done on the van. Well, we did that Volcano Slot Canyon hike, and I met Gabriel back in Argentina, and he was from Brazil, and they had the Combi. And anyway, he recommended this place in Pelotas to get the work done on the van, and introduced us, and so on and so forth. So we are going to Pelotas, Brazil. We're beelining there. We actually have an appointment with him tomorrow morning at 8 a.m. to see if he can do some more work on the van. There's a couple things we need to get done. We'll tell you about that we really have not been able to get done here and all. So we're going to Pelotas. The short story is we're going to Pelotas, Brazil. That's where we're headed to right now. We have about 2 hours more drive, and we'll be there to meet with him tomorrow morning.
Then we're gonna go out and spend the night at a gas station right next to the motorhome shop. In the morning we'll meet with him, and if all that goes well and he's got the parts and stuff that we need and he wants to work on it now, we just rode through the little neighborhood that has lots of Airbnbs, because if he can do what we need to do on the van, we will move out of this thing for a week, and then we'll go to work on the van and get all the stuff we possibly can done here. But we won't know that until we meet with him tomorrow and see how that goes.
All right, so I already told you this is a referral that we're going to this morning to get the van
Remodeled.
Fixed up. But the problem is, and it's a really good referral, so I'm excited. I touched base with him last night. Everything seems like it's on. But the problem is, he speaks Portuguese, I speak English, and I don't know if there's going to be a middle ground other than Google Translate. So we have some big work to be done, so this is going to be pretty interesting here. Anyway, let's go meet Maicon. All right, we made it to the spot, and it looks like we are in the right place. There are 3 vans here.
As coisas embaixo vão ficar muito frias. As coisas embaixo vão congelar. Então eu preciso de outro tanque de água fresca dentro da van.
All right, good news, guys. Everything worked out well over at the van shop. We really like those guys. They have a nice shop. Other than the language barrier, which we're working through with Transductor, a translator, Google. Other than that, everything's good. We are moving into an Airbnb. Things move fast in our world, so here we go.
So this is our Airbnb for 5 days. We're having a very hectic morning because we are gonna move everything out of the van. So this little apartment won't look this cute much longer because there's gonna be a bunch of junk in here. But we're gonna use this time to do some spring cleaning and reorganizing of the van, which really desperately needs to be done. But this is our home for 5 days. It's not long to move everything in, but it's what we gotta do. The kitties have a nice balcony, a view of a park down there. It's definitely a new area of town, but it's nice. It'll be comfortable, and the kitties will enjoy a break from being on the rolling wheels all the time. Now I gotta get back to work. Try to get this stuff put away as Kurt brings it up. Nice, cute little apartment though. So we're about 75% moved in. Kurt has made 1,000,000 trips. We're literally bringing the dishes, the pots and pans, all the electronics, all the charging gear, everything, so we can do a legit spring cleaning of the van. But we are about settled in. We can see the light at the end of the tunnel. One of the first things we did was get Bird TV going on YouTube for the kitties. They love that, especially when we're in an apartment. I really like this one because I could just leave that door open and not worry about them on the balcony at all. It's a super safe balcony for them. So this is gonna work out great for the kitties, great for the van, but I gotta tell you, it's gonna be a lot of work for me and Kurt. But we've been planning to get this done for a long time, and it's gonna be awesome. I walked downstairs because there's a little grocery store down there, and Kurt has left to take the van over to the motorhome rebuilding place, which is exciting. So I walked down to find me something to eat for lunch. I just came back up, and we got one kitty under there and another kitty under here. Silly kitties.
All right, guys, I slugged a lot of stuff up to the apartment to clean out the van for all this maintenance, but some of this stuff just wouldn't fit in the apartment. But I have to say, these guys are treating me like family. It's absolutely amazing. They brought out the coffee. We've got the bed out back here. You can see all the electronics over here. We've got some electronic troubleshooting to do and some other projects on the board. These guys are amazing. We're digging in after we have some coffee.
Bom dia. Sou dos proprietários da FP Motorhomes e a gente aqui constrói motorhomes do zero e a gente também faz reparos. Temos prazer em receber viajantes como o seu Davidson e família. Aqui todos estão em casa. A gente faz reparos elétricos e a gente faz instalações. Aquecedores a diesel, instalação de ar-condicionado, calefatores e tudo o que tem a ver com casas rodantes. Todo o pessoal que precisa de manutenção geralmente nos procura. A gente procura fazer um bom atendimento e o cliente fica sempre satisfeito.
So, one of the problems we've had is that our charger for our battery system is 110 or 120. It's what we use in the US, what you plug into in your house. However, this particular charger that we're going to install will do either 110 or 220. And that's important because most of the rest of the world is 220. Now, we will encounter some countries, I believe in Europe, that are 110. So essentially, we need the ability to run both. And that's what we're going to do. We're going to change out our charger, which is unfortunate because it's a pretty expensive charger. But we're going to put the new one in. That's going to give us the flexibility to do that. And then we're also going to have the ability to flip a switch. And then if we want to run power solely off of the grid where we're plugging into, then we can do that as well. And so this is a much needed improvement to the van. Honestly, I did not anticipate the different voltages in different countries when I built this, So this is going to be big for us, guys. This is going to give us an additional charge source. Pretty excited about that.
The every 2-month chore of trying to figure out how to get a haircut when you don't speak the language is done. Those ladies were very nice. I was starting to learn enough Spanish that it wasn't so scary to go in and get a haircut. But I don't speak but like 5 words of Portuguese. So that was back to being scary again. But I think it all turned out okay. Now back to our apartment to do some more spring cleaning on all of our junk.
All right, the problem I have is this right here. See how loose that is, guys? So Marcel here is going to hook me up with some new ones. All right, it's coffee time again. I've been getting treated pretty amazing by these guys. Look at this. I've really been treated like family. I've got everybody here helping out. Coffee, everything. Thank you, guys. I really appreciate it. Really, really, really. Thank you.
So I've had a busy morning while Kurt is over working on the van at the motorhome place. I've done a lot of laundry, did a little bit of editing, sorted all the spices which had gotten crazy in our van. Started going through old documents and stuff, trying to downsize how much file space we need for hard copies, for like original documents and old tax papers and stuff like that. Just cleaning house, trying to make a little bit more room in the van. But I am going to take a little walk because I need some exercise over to the little neighborhood coffee shop. All right, I think I ordered a quiche and a latte. We shall see what shows up. And thank goodness for the Google Translator. We are using it like crazy here. Ooh, I forgot what it was like to not know any words.
So we're at about the end of our first day at work, and we've added several components. We've got a lot of wiring to go through and check and clean up and tighten up, but we've made good progress today, and we've got some really important components added to the system. So I'm excited about that. The day is winding down, the mosquitoes are coming in, but by the time this is done, I think we're gonna have some nice improvements that really make the van more livable and more comfortable. And actually some of them are gonna be necessities as we move on down the road. So a good day here in the van.
It is Thursday of our week here in Pelotas. This is the first day Kurt has been hanging out around the apartment with us because he's been working his butt off doing all kinds of cool stuff to the van. Now what we have decided is things are working out so well, we're staying another week to go ahead and hopefully bang out some more maintenance and more remodeling of the van. But today was a no-go for working on the van because it is a holiday of some sort. Something to do with candy, some sort of festival. A lot of things are closed. So to celebrate the holiday, we walked to the coffee shop and got little desserts. I had a little blueberry cheesecake. What was yours, Kurt?
It was some little like cake or muffin, but it was filled with leche, which is the sweet cream that they have here. It's almost like a caramel, but it's really tasty. And then it had this huge puddle of chocolate sauce on top of it, which was thick and absolutely delicious. It was so good. But so much sugar, I am racing now. I need to run around this track about 3 times.
So that's kind of an update of what's going on. And we do need to go upstairs, get into the computers because we need to order some stuff for the remodeling Kurt has planned next week. But sorry there's no super exciting adventures going on, but everyone asks us, what would you change in the van after living in it for 4 years? Well, that's what we're doing. We're doing our wish list, right?
Yeah, it's not what would we, it's what we are changing.
What we're doing. But for now, we're headed back up to our apartment. We'll see y'all a little bit later on.
We've been working on the van for a week. We got here on Monday. It really took about a day to kind of get everything figured out. You guys probably know by now I have a very complex system, And so to explain all the work we wanted to do and kind of understand what we have going on in the van, it took pretty much several hours the first day. We dove into the work on Tuesday. Thursday was a holiday. Today is Friday. And we're completing the phase 1 work that we want to do on the van.
All right, I am checking in from Airbnb number 1. Kurt is over at the shop working on the van. I'm sure you guys probably know that by now. I'm not sure if we told you that we extended our stay by another week, but that means we have to move from one apartment to the other. My job today is to pack us up, get us moved to the other apartment so it's all done by the time Kurt gets home. And I gotta tell y'all, one of the bad downsides to living full-time in a van is if you've got to do any work on your house, any maintenance on your house, you basically have to move everything out. So that's what's going on. Y'all already know that, but just to think about that, if you had to do a full move out of your normal brick and mortar house every time you had a project, think what a pain in the butt that would be. Well, that's what's happening here. All right, let's get the first load carried up or down. We're on floor 11. We're moving to floor number 5.
All right, some of you may be surprised, some of you will not, but we have sold our electric bikes. It will make more space in the garage. We just didn't use them enough to justify the tight quarters we have in the van, and also we needed some money to pay for our repairs.
All right, the reveal of Airbnb number 2. That will be our home for the next 8 nights. Similar layout, very different style. I like it. We're a little lower to the ground. The kitties will like that. Maybe we'll see some birds. We were too high. All right, let's get this done.
All right, say goodbye to the bikes. We are at the location where we are going to make the sale. This transaction's almost over. Mycon brought me all the way out here. It was a long drive. Thank you, Mycon. This is his friend who's gonna buy the bikes. Say goodbye, guys.
We had our first night in our new Airbnb. I didn't film any of it because we were exhausted, but I cooked Kurt a yummy spaghetti dinner. He got in late. He's been working super hard on the van. I know he's been telling you all about it. We will be here for another week, but this is where we're going to wind this video down. We're halfway through our van remodel, and we'll see you guys in a few days. Cheers. If you like this video, be sure to subscribe to our channel and hit that notification bell so you guys know when we put out new videos. And don't forget, you can always follow us over on Instagram to see what's going on in between videos. Cheers, guys.